Hello, this is Gary at Jack Raven Bushcraft. Thank you for watching our video. This week I'm going to look at fire pistons, so another ignition method. So previously we've looked at matches, fire steels, traditional flint and steel. I've looked at Fresnel lenses, parabolic mirrors, bow drilling. Yeah, whole host of different ignition methods. So as I say, today we're going to turn our focus to fire pistons. So this is a fire piston. Now, I don't typically kind of recommend particular brands when I'm doing these videos. They're more how-tos than kit reviews. With that said, these are the ones that I've been using for years now. They're from bushcrafttools.com. Dustin is a very nice chap. So yeah, these are the kind of the ones that I favour, although there are lots of them out there on the market. So these essentially work in the same way as a diesel engine. So in a diesel engine you compress a gas and it heats up, and that kind of creates our ember. So the same thing happens in here. We've got a cylinder and a piston, and then so when one fits in there, we compress it, and that creates the heat which lights a little bit of tinder. So in this case we've got a little hollow just there in the end, so we can put our tinder in there. Typically I'll use char cloth, but you can use the other charred material in there as well. So we've got a video out there showing you how to char up a birch polypore. That's going to work. King Alfred's cake without being charred, actually, that'll go in there and work. Chaga, that can go in there. That's going to work as well. So there are a number of things that you can carry with you that will ignite, and there are things that you can find that are likely to ignite. Now these ones from Bushcraft Tools, there's a few nifty ideas going on actually. So this little cap on the end unscrews, and it reveals a little container there to store some char cloth, which I think is quite neat. And then let me just put this back on. The other end, so on the cylinder, what we've got is just a little bit of petroleum jelly in there, which is also useful. You'll see that in a minute, how I'm going to use that bit. And then actually, and I do like this bit, but there's also a backup in here, so a backup fire lighting device. So don't run down the centre, there's a little ferro rod as well. So if you think about it, we've got two ignition methods going on here: the fire piston itself, the ferro rod. We've got a tinder here in the char cloth, and we've got some accelerant in here in the form of the petroleum jelly. So it's almost a little fire lighting kit in its own right. So in terms of where these things came from, it is thought that they originated in the Pacific Islands and were initially made from bamboo. It was picked up by European sailors and brought back to Europe. And we do know that people were using this kind of thing in this country, in England, Great Britain, up until the invention of matches, really, to light fires. But it was more of an indoor thing than an outdoor fire lighting method. So I will be up front at this point and say this is not my preferred method of lighting a fire. They're good fun to play about with, but there are a number of steps that you have to take to get one of these to become a fire. So first of all, you have to ignite the tinder. You have to take that out of there, put it into a bigger piece of tinder, put that into a tinder bundle, blow it up into a flame. So quite fiddly. So especially imagine your hands are cold and wet, that kind of thing. There's lots of steps there. So typically this isn't something I would take with me out into the woods. But as I say, they are interesting as a fire lighting method, and they are good fun. So what I need to do first up is I'm just going to put a little bit of char cloth in the end there. Just going to take a little bit of that out here. shove that in. Now I normally give it a fairly good squash down so that I haven't got any of the tinder, any of the flammable material poking out above the top of the piston. And then what I'm going to do is get just a little bit of petroleum jelly from this end and just rub it, just a little fraction of it, a little smidge, just on the underside of this washer. There's a little washer here, a little rubber washer. I'm just going to put that just a tiny bit around the underside, and that's just going to help improve the seal. So it's important that there's a good seal on this so that we build up that pressure. So let's pop that back on. Now the idea is that we want the piston to go into the cylinder quickly to build up our pressure, and then to come back out again quickly so we can get some oxygen onto the end of it. So you can do it kind of this way in your hands, so push in, back out. It takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of coordination, and you do need to have reasonably fast hands on it. What I prefer to do, or tend to do in fact, is just kneel down. So I'm going to kneel behind my stump here, like so, and now I can put the piston upright like that, and then take the cylinder part like so. Now if the cylinder right now just fell straight down, then almost certainly we don't have a decent fit on it. It wouldn't be a snug fit, and we wouldn't get the compression. What you do need to do here is just watch your fingers. So if you've got your fingers here, then you can pinch them as you push downwards, so make sure that your fingers are down at the bottom, so as I say, when you push down you don't kind of just catch your skin on it. So it's a case of down quickly, up quickly, that kind of thing. Now so I've got a ember in there now, just on top of the bit of char cloth. There's just kind of giving it the little breath onto it. So what I need to do now is take that ember out of there, place it into a larger piece of char cloth, and put that into a tinder bundle, and then blow that up into a flame. So as I said, this is probably not my favourite ignition method, because there are lots of stages to it, and some of those stages are quite delicate. You need fine motor skills to be able to accomplish them, but nonetheless they're good fun to play about with. So hopefully guys, that's of use to you. It's something that you can have a little practice with yourself. So we would hopefully get another video out next week. It'll be on our YouTube channel, it'll be on our blog. Make sure you don't miss out by subscribing. In the meantime, take care, stay safe.